All right, this is the weekly outlook on the 12th day of May. And we don't spend a lot of time in here. We just go quickly through three things. We look at the outlook for the fundies this week. We take a look at the alerts that we already put out tonight in case there's some misunderstanding on those. And then finally, we take a look and find the real estate of the week trade. So first things first is to take a look at the announcements. Okay, so there's nothing in the New York session, but there's a lot happening. All right, tomorrow before the New York session, we're going to have core CPI and CPI. All right, then Bailey speaks at 11 o'clock, so he's going to shut down the pound for a while. Then Aussie, we got wage price index and then employment change, so a lot of Aussie stuff. And then on Thursday, you got core retail sales again before the New York session. And then on Friday, you get University of Michigan consumer sentiment. All right. So you need to be flat before most of these. So you better know where they are. Okay. So there you go. All right. You can get them on Forex Factory or Forex Live. Either one of them, post them every week and you can get them there. So there we go. All right. So next thing is the alerts that I sent out. So let me get this up and make sure it stays up. Hold on. Let's see if it's there now. Hold on. There we go. All right. So first thing I do is I tell you what I think the market's doing. Right. So the first one I sent out is right here, and dollar index might need a pullback first, but if it reverses, replot the targets. Okay. So it's going to be tough to see if they're reversing or they're just pulling back. But MACD is your key here. As you can see, MACD clearly tells you. Remember, MACD points the way. That's what it's pointing. All right. So there we go. Directional USD. We'll look at them. I'm going to go through them. All right. So watch for a pullback to this fib right here. Right. This is the fib and then a bounce. All right. We'll see what happens. See if that happens. All right. So first might be a pullback before we get to it. All right. So the first one is the pound yen. All right. Yeah. Pound yen's going up. So is the dollar going up. Okay. So we're getting a pullback here. So this will have to be adjusted whenever this stops. But right now, when I put it in, it was right at 5 o'clock New York time. And it was an entry price of 195.66, 195.66 right there, right? For that trade right there. Target is 197.24 and 197.23 is the ATR. Oh, there's no, well, I mean, I put it in and sometimes they don't go in, but if the number's above it, then you know it's going up. And if the number's below it, you know it's going down, right? So I don't know what's going on, why it does that every once in a while. The first thing I do is click the direction. So I don't know why sometimes it strips it out, which may be SMS or something. It's not something Jerry can find. So he's looked at it. All right. So there we go. So I can edit this. Okay. So dollar, I'm going to do this dollar index, edit, home page. Have to restart it. Yeah, GJ is above the heart line, all right? And watch for it to, most likely it's just coming down to bounce on the heart line right there, Bob. That's it. All right, let me see. Admin alerts, edit, up. Okay, GJ. Five. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so that's the GJ right there. All right, so yeah, it's above the heart line. Let's see where that's anchored on. Oh, it's all the way back here. And the reason it's there and not here is because of all the touches here. See that? May actually be higher. I mean, you could certainly make a case that it's actually a bigger trend and nails it there and nails it there and nails it there. In fact, I'm going to leave that. Why? Because they're absolute touches. Touch and stop, touch and stop. So I'm going to leave that alone. So it's even bigger than I had it. Right? So there we go. A lot of space up here, folks. Watch for that, right? You can get a fib on here by taking the swing low, swing low, swing high, swing low, right there. And there's a 1.618 just above the ATR. So I'd hold for that one. All right. All right, next one is the GU. All right. So GU, waiting for a continuation to the downside here. And pull this over here. All right, so we're looking at this one right here. All right, nope. Before that, GU right there. All right, so I'm looking for a sell at 31.48. 31.48 means it's going to have to take this S4 out, and there it is right there. Not a very big trade down at 13.074. That's at 7.8 right now, right there. See, there you go. All right. Any questions on that? Not a big trade, but it's it is. I try to find an easy trade for newbies and then a more advanced trade for fast trackers every time. We can't always do that, but that's my goal is to find one of each. So, all right, so there we go. And next one will be the Euro Aussie. Right? Euro Aussie is going against the dollar right now. Most likely it's in an ABC, in an ABC up here. Watch for this right here where you get support and watch for the turn to the downside. Now, when that happens, you're going to have to bring this up to here, which is going to raise this up to about here, because that'll be the high for the day if that happens, right? So, Euro alert, Euro Aussie, not Euro alert. Euro Aussie 73.90, all right, which is now here. So now you can see that. So the trader has to make this adjustment. Okay, you don't let it go 100 pips up in the air and turn and then wait for it to get down here. You don't do that. When it tops out here because you recognize the ABC, you change the entry to here and adjust the stop, adjust the target to include the new top. See, that's the job of a trader, right? So I do this at 4 o'clock. None of this stuff shows up. Right? We're here 3 hours later, 3.5 hours later. A lot can happen in 3.5 hours. All right. So currently the target is 72.28, but it'll actually be about 72.60 probably area right in here if that's a C wave. All right. All right. Then I got the pound New Zealand next. All right. And pound New Zealand. There you go. And it's going to be a sell. Right. Now, you can see here that we are above the zero line break. So this has a lot more risk in it. All right. But as I looked at it, and it could still go up, folks, don't get me wrong. When I was looking at it, we were green here, we were green here, we were green here, we were green here. As it says, we're trying to go up. This says we're trying to go up, right? And this says we're trying to go up. But when I was doing this before, it said we're trying to go down, it said we're trying to go down, and it said we're trying to go down. All right, go nowhere. All right. So we had this big move here. So, these things change, and that's why you never follow anybody. You don't take my alerts. Oh, that's what I need to trade tonight. No, it didn't like that at all. So there's a very high probability this could go to the upside. Now, what tells me maybe it won't is the convergence already in play right here. All right. So if it breaks up, all you got to do, if it reverses, flip it. That's all you got to do, and then drag it down to the new bottom down here. That's all you got to do. All right, so we'll see on that one. All right, I'll put a question mark on it for tomorrow when we get back. All right, so let's go try to find the real estate of the week trade. All right, so we have a couple of criteria. Excuse me, on the home page. Come on, I don't know why it's not going home. Anyway, so we've got a couple of rules about the real estate of the week trade. It's got to finish by Friday because we need to be flat over the weekend, number one. And number two, it needs to be able to go 500 pips by Friday. All right. So because of that, we need bigger ATR currencies. So you go over here and you see it's alphabetical by the currency. Click 14-day, and now you get the lowest to the highest. Click it again, you get the highest to the lowest. That's what we want, the highest to the lowest. So you can see pound Aussie is on the table, 185 pips. Dollar yen is on the table, 185 pips. Pound New Zealand's on the table for 180 pips. Pound yen is 168 pips, and Euro New Zealand is 156. Right, so there you go. Those are the biggies. Right. So now it's just simply a matter of going to the currency, finding the top and bottom, and then just simply saying where could it go. So we're going to start over here in the GJ, left to right. All right. So GJ, it's got a top up here. You can see it there. All right. So you just take your calculator out. So that's no rocket science here whatsoever. Simple math. That thing is sitting at 199.86, 199.86. All right. And we're currently at 195 even. That's O2, but I'll do it this way. Makes it easier. So it's 486 pips. So it doesn't meet our criteria. All right, so then we go to the UJ, right? And UJ, we got nothing to do because we're at the top of the channel, see? So there's no room to the upside and an upside move, right? Gonna have to pull back and then maybe go, and by that time we'll have wasted a whole day going to the downside, and then an upside, then an upside. So we'll pass on that one, and we'll go over to the GA, right? And GA has a pretty good ATR. They've already bounced off the bottom. Let's go see if we can find the top. There's the top right there. Okay, so there's the top. And how far away is it? Well, it's not very far. I can count up the T30s here. So it's only about 200 pips away. So there's nothing on the pound Aussie either. All right. Euro New Zealand is next. All right. And Euro New Zealand, we're trying to push up. But remember, this could be a C wave, but at the same time, we're only looking at a range and we're only going at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 180 pips up there. That's not 500 pips. And then we go to pound New Zealand, which we have down tonight, which could very well go up. All right, don't know. All right, but if it goes down, we're only coming down to this yellow line here. If we go up, we got this move here. All right, so if we go up, big if, all right. Well, at the calculator, that is at 3097, and we're going to subtract 2511, and that equals 586 pips. So the only currency we have that we can trade right now in a real estate of the week trade is upside on the pound New Zealand. All right. So and it's very, very probable that it do that. The bottom, it was where it was just a minute ago. It's 2,500 bottom. It's where you are right now. All right, wherever you are when you take it. All right. It was 2,502. I just made it easy, 2,500. Because there's no room. All right. So we're not sure if this is going up or down, but if it does break up, it's got 586 pips up to there. See, so it's not, I'm not telling you it's here. I'm just telling you that might, if it does break up, then you could trade it as a real estate of the week trade because of the range, right? And see, there's this line right here that I got this real dark line here. Watch how many times it's been used. See how many times it's been used? Monster. See, so do I want to trade into that, which is only about 150 pips away, or maybe 200? See, I don't want to trade it to the down. I want to trade it not for a real estate of the week trade. I want to trade the inner. If it breaks to the downside, I want to trade the intraday trade, but I don't want to trade the real estate of the week trade. Now, if it breaks up, all right, so we'll put the slope support resistance across here. If it breaks up, all right, then we, as you can see, let me make sure this is good. I go up to 240, make sure these fibs are correct. All right, so we got the swing high and the swing low, so the fibs are correct. All right. So if we break up, then we would have actually, we don't have that yet, but if it does break up, you actually have a channel already there. See that? So if it does break up tonight, okay, it could. All right, now, you know, pound New Zealand goes typically goes with the dollar, which is up. All right, see? So the chart's telling me, and by the way, you always go with the chart, but just because the chart says we're going down doesn't mean I trade it down. If I got any concern about it, I go, you know, it says I'm going down, but I don't know. And then I'll just keep watching it as it keeps feeding me. Okay, good, Andy. It keeps feeding me information. Okay, so I can see right here, they're trying to push it up on a 5-10 minute. They're trying to push it up. Doesn't mean much. I got a Tom to Mark line right here, all right, holding it to the top down, and they might try to push it up. But no, they're going down. They were going down. And this is really high up. See how high this has gone? And this thing has moved 4 pips. All right. So that usually means that this is setting for the downside move. So in other words, it's a big question mark. All right. If I get the intraday trade to the downside, I want it. if I get the real estate of the week trade to the upside, I want it, all right? So I'm going to pop a fib from the swing low, the swing high, back to the swing low, this way now to the upside, all right? I already got it to the downside, all right? And then we'll put the HSI on to the up, only because it's a real estate of the week trade. And if it proves it's going up, then you should take it, all right? So we got an R7 above this day chart top here. Look at that day chart top. Might be a little higher right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. So these two and this wick right here, a little higher. Now it's not going to make a lot of difference. Okay. All right. So once you've done this, now you can see the wide open space. Tonight's trade is here. Trade 1 is here and trade 2 is here, right there. This is the next trade, the next trade, the next trade, and the next trade right there. All right. So you put these in, trade 2 right here. If it breaks to the north, you put trade 2 in, then you put this one in, then you put this one in, and then you put this one in, and you put this one in. And you can do these right now, right? Because we have it going down. So if it goes down, it will not execute any one of those and you can take it off. However, if it decides to scream like that to the upside, following the dollar, which could very well go up because of the Trump tariffs with China has just been, looks like it's taken shape. And so the market went up almost 1,200 points today, all right? The Dow, all right? 1,200 points. Wow. Maybe it's the S&P 500. I can't remember which one. Let's go look at it, all right? There you go, all right? There's the S&P 500. It's climbing up the hill, all right? Already up to 58.31. Dow is almost up to 42. It's over 42 now. So it's climbing up. All right. So that's dollar positive. Then we get a dollar positive down here with the dollar telling you, yeah, after a pullback, we're going to finish. But see, there's not a lot of room up here in this dollar, right up here. And there's not much room to the channel. So they need to pull this down and to get a shot at it. All right. Back over to pound New Zealand. All right. So the secret to this trade is very simple. It's trade number 1. If you get trade number 1 on a break, hook, and go right there, trade number 1, once you get trade number 1, you put the limit in at the day chart top, right? It has one job, is to produce profit so that when this exit enters, it doesn't cost you as much because you already got profit. When this enters, it doesn't cost you as much because now you got this much profit. Once you get 3 positions on, you cannot lose as long as the stops are moved. And then all the rest of these are free trades up here, right? MACD is following the candles, exactly. See, so there's a high probability we'll get this, not the downside move. But until it proves that, all right, and you know, if you don't like it, which you know, I'm not biased either way. I don't care if it goes up, I don't care if it goes down, all right. But you know, I needed to prove what it's doing. So if it breaks up in here, okay, it's really not safe until you get above here. All right. Now here you only got 60 pips. So you'd have to find out where the ATR is. Pretty big ATR. So it would, you know, it's probably coming up in this area right up in here. All right. So these trades all go on now. All right. As Kay would tell you, as Kay here. Kay, tell him when you do it. Now. That's right. You do them now. You don't wait. But what if it goes down? Then it's never going to execute. Take them off later. What if it goes up? Then you're in. Do you want to be in? Yeah, I want to be in. It's a 3,000 pip possibility for my pocketbook. Do I want that? Yeah, I'll take that. All right. All right. Anybody got any questions on that? Everybody good? All the rest of them don't have enough, so we only have 1 this week. Usually we find 2, sometimes 3. All right. All right, everybody good? Yep. Okay. No sense in spending any time. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow's the last day of the open house. Wednesday through Friday. Fast trackers, 9:30 to 1:30 Eastern time, fast track. There is no New York room. Be aware of that. There is no New York room because we will be in the fast track class. Okay. All right, everybody. And it's the last live one I'll ever do. It's the last time I'm doing one live. I never thought this day would come, but it is here. All right. 8:30 in the morning, New York time, Laura. 8:30 in the morning in New York. Oh, excuse me, 9:30, sorry. 9:30 New York time and 8:30 Central, right? Yeah, 9:30 New York. Okay, there you go. Sorry. All right, everybody, have a good night. Chat with you later.